Good morning, y'all. It's 11:18. It's not morning. I feel like it's morning every morning. Ha! I was getting our green tomatoes, or these have gotten kind of ripe, but they're still green tomatoes because they're peppers and cucumbers and all that. I thought, well, I'm gonna do my tomato pickles. I gotta start it because it takes 24 hours, y'all, to make those pickles, because you have to make your combine your brine and all that stuff, your peppercorn, mustard seeds, chili peppers, and you put all that in your pot and bring it to a boil. And there's several steps which I'll teach y'all how to do to make these absolutely divine green tomato pickles. But of course, you know Billy Jean, he's got to do it his way. So there's no telling what we'll end up with, but I bet it'll be good, and y'all wish y'all were here to eat with us, as I always say. But the first thing first, let me move these. This is heavy. I'll just kind of push it over just a little bit. Yesterday, after I made our pork sandwiches, y'all know we had those nice 2 big pieces of pork. Well, Billy Jean, with his expert skills, decided to put them in the Instapot and cook them and let them, sit in their own juices. So we have that, and I'm going to have to make some barbecue sauce. So I thought, why not let my friends know the barbecue sauce that's an old recipe. Okay, we'll get our black skillet. Rinsed it out. Then what I'll do, I'm going to have to move this big old bunch of vegetables, but we can do it. It's not as hot here today. I'm not saying that it's not hot, because it's hot here today. I'd like to have about, I'd say 2 cups of this drippings, but first I'm going to pull this out and show y'all. Rinse the bowl out. This bowl, the one I was going to use. And I'm going to take this and just lift that out. Like that. Now I've got that cold, so that's why I'm going to dip off that fat. That'll get our old fat out of there. Get that out of there. Put it in the bowl to itself. I'll get as much of that old fat off of all this if you can. So that just leaves you drippings in there without your fat. This, what I'll do is I'll take off as much as I can of that, and then I'll heat it. Just barely heat that in the microwave and get that off of my meat. I should have took the meat out last night and just left this in there to skim over, but I just was so tired, y'all, I forgot. We all forget. And I know y'all forgive me, because I'd forgive y'all. Alright, let me see here. Let me get my skillet again. We've got a lot going on today in this kitchen. I'm gonna use y'all know I use this strainer a lot, don't I? Y'all know I do. But I don't want any of that fat in there, so I'd use it for jelly, I'd use it for meat drippings, I'd use it for, see, that strains that old junk out of there. If there's any junk, which I'm not saying it would be bad to leave it in there, but it's just Billy Jean, that's the way he does things. So that his sauce has not got a bunch of chunks in it. Alright, now let's get that going, and I'll be right back. Okay, my thought process changed, not too off the wall, but I'm going to make this in this big pan because there's going to be too much for that skillet, and I don't feel like trying to wrangle that skillet. And I'm just going to use my challenge butter today instead of having to get, and I'm just going to put into my pan, get an old trusty knife, about a tablespoon of that butter. Let that start going around and getting your pan a little hot there. Today is Saturday. I doubt many of y'all at home. Well, you may be. I don't know if you're like me. You stay home most of the week, you know, and we don't go out unless I go to the grocery store. But that's okay, you know. Some flour, y'all. Okay. We get some white flour, about a half a cup of white flour. So let me get this butter. Where is my? Here's one. It's not my favorite, a spoon. I need to buy me some more wood spoons, good wood spoons, like that one that I have. I'm just going to make a roux with this butter. I'm going to put a half cup of flour in it. Let's see. About a half a cup of flour. That's what I'm going to put in there. Now I'm going to cook that down. See, you're just getting that. We could have added, I guess we could have added a little more. But it wasn't about another. I added a little much of flour, but we can do another teaspoon. You just have to judge it for yourself. Because, you know, when you're making roux or anything like that, you have to eyeball it because the humidity changes your kitchen. And we want that roux down. And I'm going to set that back just a minute so I can get I'm going to put garlic, yellow mustard. We've got this. Remember, we've got such a little tiny kitchen. We have to be careful. I wished I'd have been doing my shows for y'all when, let me turn that bar down, when I had one of the bigger kitchens. But I didn't know y'all then. So let's put about, I wonder how much garlic we should put in that. Probably 1 clove, so that'd be about, it says 1 clove, garlic, 1 teaspoon of mustard seed. So we'll do 1 teaspoon, and 1 of our mustard seed. So garlic and mustard seed. We'll crunch that. Get that crunchy going. Now this is a barbecue gravy. This is not a barbecue sauce. I'll make the barbecue sauce one day, but I wanted this old southern, well, I'll tell you, it's kind of a wanted recipe that came out of southeast Oklahoma. There was I'll tell you the story. There was a man named P.O. Sam. And in Colbert, Oklahoma, he had a barbecue shack. And everybody from Dallas to Oklahoma City to wherever came to eat barbecue at P.O. Sam's. Well, let's call this Willie Mae and P.O. Sam's barbecue brown gravy sauce. So one day I said, I'd sure like to have some of that sauce. Well, you know, I don't know it. P.O., he's the only one who knows that. So probably about a year and a half later, I can't remember, she passed away some way, but before that, she came in and folded up a little piece of paper in my hand and said, "Here, Merry Christmas to you." And it was that barbecue, just gravy, barbecue gravy. So I'm letting y'all know something that I've never told nobody. Now the whole world knows it. But I bet a lot of y'all, I don't know if a lot of you, but there's going to be some people that see this one day that will remember P.O. Sam's and his barbecue sauce, gravy sauce. So I've got to follow this, or we'll get messed up. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put my garlic and my mustard in there. With this. Well, you can smell that good smell. That's a good smell. Let me get some water here, hot water. Make sure your roux is getting kind of brown. Let's turn that up just a hair. Get that kind of brown. Let me get some black pepper. To taste is what I say. So let's try that. Now if you're watching your salt like I have to, this will finally have Worcestershire sauce and vinegar in it, so you got salt there. So let me get that. I've got Worcestershire. I've got y'all know I've got vinegar, don't you? So, let's see, that's a browning now. That's getting brown. Let's turn that, let's go ahead and put our half a cup of water in there. And deglaze that pan. Move that off there till I get this other. See how that's getting the gravy? So let's put our Worcestershire. 1 tablespoon. Let's get our old Worcestershire. Well, 1 tablespoon of your Worcestershire in there. I'll do 1, and I buy this tomato ketchup, that's the organic, so we want about a teaspoon. About a teaspoon to a tablespoon of that ketchup. Just plain old ketchup. I always buy the organic though, if I'm going to have to use ketchup. Alright, now then, let's get our apple cider vinegar. That's what you want in your apple cider. 2 tablespoons. Okay. 1, 2 tablespoons of the apple cider vinegar. Now to make that kind of let me turn that fire down, make that kind of hot. I'm not going to put a lot in it, but you can put your tablespoon of cayenne pepper now. I'm not going to put a tablespoon or Mother wouldn't be able to stand it, so I'm just going to do a 1/4. But the recipe I list will be a tablespoon. Okay. Now, you've got your base. That's your base. Now your salt and pepper to taste. I'd say start out with a teaspoon of salt. So let's see, we've got our butter and our flour and our water to make our roux or slurry. I didn't have a clove garlic. I've got to get some even for my tomato pickles, so I use just a teaspoon of garlic, 1 teaspoon of ketchup, 1 teaspoon of ground mustard, or you can use regular, just mustard, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon cayenne pepper, which I only did a 1/4, black and salt and pepper to your taste. Now, what we'll do is we'll add our drippings. Let's see, that's about, I would say, that says a quart, so we'll add, let's just go ahead, we don't want to waste it. Let's just try that and bring that on up to a boil. Now that's going to make, but you could probably store this. Let me get this mixed in here before it gets too hot. Now this makes a good barbecue gravy, brown gravy sauce. So let's turn our fire up. Let me get this messy mess kind of cleaned up a little bit while I'm sitting here talking to y'all. Do y'all really like to try new recipes? I do. You know, I love all these southern recipes or recipes that I learned as a child. I love them. And that's what I eat every day. And I have all my life. But I know that y'all, they're new to you. A lot of you, they're new to you, these recipes, but you have to realize I've been eating them for a long time. So I like to try new recipes and share them. That's what I'm going to do, is share them with y'all. Or any of the recipes that I've done for my cookbooks, then I'll share with y'all too. Now this is going to have to cook down. And I might have shot, I probably should have, and I didn't think, heat my brisket or drippings. I should have done this while they were warm, but I couldn't last night. I was just too exhausted to even realize what was going on. So we're going to try it this way. If it don't, then y'all, once you get your roast done, or your pork roast or your beef roast, automatically take your drippings out, the liquid from the roast, about a quart. Put it in your saucepan. Doing a small pan. I mean, you could add this into that if you get your drippings hot enough. It'd be fine just to do it all in the same pan. It's just I knew that I had to show y'all how to do that roux. And you've got to do the roux, so you'd have to get your little saucepan to make that slurry. Okay, we'll let this cook down. I'll be back. Okay, I'm just letting this boil for a little bit to try to get it reduced down. And while I was doing that, I had took my roast out of my bowl. And see all that fat that I've got off of this, but I just sit there and I pick it off and it comes off in pieces. You don't want all that old fat for your family and you to eat. So you look at your meats. Now that looks pretty good. That's a lot of fat there, y'all. Messy, messy, bitty things are messy. Now that's probably getting, when that cools, that's going to become gravy. If not, I could add, but I added what was supposed to. I think probably it just needs to let me just put it on low while I'm talking to y'all and getting this done. See this here, that just comes off the bone. See how that meat just comes off the bone, literally. So, let me wash my hands. I'm going to rinse this other bowl. There's no sense in dirtying 2 or 3 bowls. You know. No sense in dirtying up another bowl. I'm always saying, we need a bigger bowl, but not today. I'm just going to use this one. See, I can watch this while I'm standing here. Yeah, that's getting thicker. But if I had to, y'all, I could add some more flour or some corn starch. Some corn starch. That will solve your problem. I feel like a lot of you that have written in, y'all are good cooks. Y'all know what's going on. It's not like you're Amelia Earhart. Where is everybody? I mean, y'all seem smart to me. Y'all probably could teach me a thing or two. 'Cause I just learn what I want to, and look at that meat. That meat looks so good, y'all. Boy, that'd make a good cold roast sandwich. Have y'all ever had, look at that piece there. That's a good one. That's a good one, y'all. Boy, I'm just getting enough. And many times I've took this bone, my nose itches. I took this bone and put it in a little pot like that and just cook it down a little more with all the fat gone off of it. I always get that fat off because that's so bad for our arteries. And I don't need my arteries closing up any more than they are because I can't remember who I am now. Okay. There's some big pieces down in here I'd do there. You know that little old $14 roast did our pork sandwiches yesterday. Well, 2 roasts. Did our pork sandwich yesterday. Plus, look at all this meat that we've got here. Now that's enough. We could feed an army. Well, maybe a half an army, but if they weren't too hungry, I bet I could do an army. I could feed them. I bet I could. Lord, at one point, you always want stories. At one point, I was cooking and feeding a lot of people at every meal. Probably about 200 people. That was in my previous life. That was in my previous life. No regrets. Some restaurants, I bet at a lunch crowd, I don't know. I think, let me get my hands washed. Wash it with this green soap. Brenda Gantz got her Amish soap. Well, I don't have any. We have Amish places you can buy stuff, but you know, I'm wondering if I shouldn't put a thickener. I bet I better, because that's not going to thicken up. It's because there's so much messy mess. There's so much. Let me get that up to boiling. We're going to go ahead and do it. So in case y'all have the same episode of I don't have a lot of cornstarch. I haven't bought my cornstarch. That's what I've been meaning to get at the store every day I go. Well, it didn't. I guess I don't. We use flour. That's all we can do. Is just use. I'm gonna put another half cup just because, and hot water. Well, no. Why did I say hot water? That's not true. Let me see that. That looked like it was kind of thickening up. That's not a gravy, that's more of a sauce. Let me get cold water in this half a cup, well, a fourth a cup of flour. It's room temperature. It's not cold. It's not cold. But I'm gonna make sure you mix that up, remember? That's just flour and a fourth cup of water. Let me set it down so I can get it mixed. Y'all know what I tell you to do though. Y'all are smart. Y'all remember. Keep from being embarrassed. Take your sieve and pour so you don't have lumps in your gravy. Now, I bet that'll thicken up. See, look at that, it just thickens right up. See, Billy Jean, he's so smart sometimes. I'm glad he's my friend. See how that just thickened that gravy up. Now let's just turn that off. Let's continue to stir it. Now that's a good gravy, y'all. Look at that. Wonder what it tastes like. We have a taste. Let me get a test spoon. Get a test spoon. I'm gonna have to blow that. I'm not burning my mouth for nobody. good. That's a good roast gravy. I'm serious, y'all. That is, Mr. P.O. Sam's would be proud of me. Now, it don't have all that heat in it, you remember? His was hot. Okay, let's take that off, Mr. P.O. and get that Willie May. Let's get Willie May's gravy off of the stove. Now, if I was going to serve that, I'd get my strainer and I'd pour it through and get any impurities out and put it in my ladle. Now, that's got an afterbite to it, y'all, so you better be careful with that pepper because I just now got pepper. So I'm going to make us a plate. I'm going to heat some of this in the microwave. And I didn't have any hamburger buns. And, I didn't have any hamburger buns. I'll make, mother loves, y'all know I told you she loves coleslaw. Well, I went to Kentucky Fried and I just buy her coleslaw from them up there so I don't have to make it. That's where I get it, the Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's another story. But yesterday I went to the little store. Look at this whole deal of jalapenos I got for 99 cents. This was $1.99. Now we're going to use these, y'all. That's why I like going to that little country grocery store. If I can get it open, I'll show you what's in this. What's in this? Oh, you have to pull your... Oh, for 99 cents you get a free locked plastic box with all this. $1.99. Now, how in the world? I just don't understand it. But that's why we go to the country grocery store. Because we like the bargains. We love the bargains. You know how we can fix this? I'll be back and I'll show you. Well, I put the pork into the microwave and I'm just heating enough for Mother and I. Because that's the way we do it in case, so it doesn't ruin as fast. I'm trying to get her tray with a new clean linen on. Her tray. I've got linen, real linen, but this is just fine. It's clean, it's good, it's on a little tray, she can hold it. So, I'm going to set this right here. Now, let me get a plate. At least she's eating on a Haviland plate, that's all I can say. And I'll open the... I don't think I'm going to put that out on the... I'm just going to put that right there. Okay. Now then, let me get her... Where's my little tongy tong? Oh, I've got baskets of stuff over here. Of gadgets and gizmos and... Okay. She'll probably eat... Maybe... She might eat that much. I'm not so sure. Yeah, and it'll probably be easier if I go ahead and put this out. Put this out for her. Plus, I gotta take a picture for y'all. So, that'll be fine. Alright, we got that portion done. Now, I know something else you'll like. Probably y'all would like too. Gotta get some little wispies of onions. Chopped, sliced onion. She likes onion. Even though it's in there, she'll like a few little baby pieces. Little baby pieces of onion. Y'all know Billy Jean. He can't eat them. He can't eat them. He has to chop his, and you know onions. Oh, they are bitter as quinine when you chop them. You can add, rinse them off real good and it'll take some of that bitterness away. Okay, we've got, that looks pretty nice. Let me get a ladle. Let me get Granny's old Melmac ladle. That thing is about, I don't know, old. And I'll just take some of this good old gravy and just spoon it right there on that meat. Okay, y'all, that's our lunch. We're going to have our pork with our Willie Mae and P.O.'s gravy, some coleslaw, some onion for Mama. If I had a good tomato, I'd put a fresh tomato on there, but we've got to use those, and I don't have one right, or she'd get one. God bless you, God bless us, God bless the USA. Wish y'all was here to eat with us this Saturday. We're blessed. Don't forget to bless someone else. We'll talk to you soon because we've got things to cook. Bye-bye.